Yes. Can you see the vlog?
Yeah.
Yes, I stay in the company.
Oh,
Okay.
you're a frog.
Yes, I was dancing on the company.
Wow, that's you dancing?
Yes,
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
yes, it was crazy, teacher. It was crazy. But I made that because I earned a computer. I have a new computer.
Oh my gosh! So you won a new computer for your costume.
Oh, yes, and a tablet.
Wow.
I because
Congratulations.
oh, thank you so much. Uh, every year in the October has Halloween, and a lot of people in that company in HP put a costume, and the best one earned something. Maybe a cell phone, maybe a computer, maybe a tablet, whatever. And I started my competition, and I put my mask, I put my gloves, green gloves, and I stayed dancing in the company. And a lot of people, wow, this is crazy! Oh my gosh, I needed to grab record. Yes, was so funny, and I earned it.
That is excellent. Good job, Amaury.
Thank you
That's
so
great
much.
news. Okay, good. Well, thank you for sharing that story. Now I have to talk to everybody else, okay? Excellent. Welcome to class, Oscar. How are you?
Tara, how are you? I'm fine.
Great. Good. Good to hear that. Excellent. Uh, Leonel, are you there? Hello.
Hello, Tara.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina.
Ah, okay. Excellent. Welcome to class. I think this is the first class I've ever had with you. So,
Yes,
awesome.
yes. In fact, it's my second week here in Berlin.
Oh, excellent. Well, welcome to Verbling. I hope you are enjoying the classes here.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Juan Carlos, hello.
Hello, Tara. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. And Juan Carlos, remind me again, where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay, excellent. Good to see you again in class. All
Me
right.
too.
Humberto, are you there?
Yeah, teacher. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fine, fine, thank you.
Okay, excellent. Good to see you again in class.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started since it's a bit late. Today's class is going to be, we're reading a travel news article. Okay, so I'm going to share it with you guys on my screen here. So just follow along with me over here. So here is a picture of some books, but they're special kinds of books. Does anyone know what we would call these?
Guide, tourist guide.
Good.
Uh,
Okay, guidebooks, specifically
Guide.
guidebooks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So what would you use these guidebooks for, Humberto?
To to choice the travel, where to travel.
Yeah, to
I
choose a
know
travel
about this.
destination.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Excellent. So let's go on. If you see here, one of or some of these books are written by a company called Lonely Planet. Okay, so that is one of our vocabulary words. Lonely Planet is a big travel company and I'll show you their website in case you are not familiar with this company. Here's Lonely Planet's website. So you can see they make travel guides, they give tours, and their website has a lot of information about what you can do when you're planning a vacation or a trip. Okay? So the article we are reading comes from Lonely Planet. All right, a few other words that are important to know before we read the article. Alarmist. Alarmist is an adjective meaning to cause alarm or fear. Okay, causing alarm or fear. Something that makes you worried in a special sense, which we'll read about, is alarmist. Okay. The next important word is buoy. Buoy. Sounds a little bit funny. Buoy, yeah, buoy as a verb means to keep up or to keep afloat. So floating in the water, because it comes from the name of the noun buoy, which I'll show you here. This is what a buoy is. It's that thing that floats in the water to mark a destination or a distance, right? You see it in the water sometimes with a light on top of it. So this is a buoy.
So the noun and the verb are the same.
Yeah, the form is the same, B-U-O-Y. But you can tell what it means depending on the context. Yes, depending on the context. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and start reading the article. Oscar, can I have you start, please? Read the title first and then that paragraph that you see on the page.
Okay. Tunisia tops Lovely Planet's best Volvo destination for 2015.
Good. This word is value. Value.
Value. Value.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay. Two of Africa's most beautiful countries had defined alarmist headlines to come out on top of the world's best value destination as named by Lovely Planet. The travel guide book company has named Tunisia and South Africa the year's best deals in its 2015 Best in Travel listing.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Leonel, can you tell me what is the main idea of this paragraph? What is it saying?
Sorry, what was the question?
What did we read about just now? Or what's the main idea in this first paragraph? You can look at the title also to help you. Let me see. Julia, welcome to class. And how are you?
Welcome. Fine, thank you.
Okay. Julia, were you here when Oscar was reading? Were you able to read this paragraph?
Yes, I hear.
Okay. Can you help Lionel and tell us what is the main idea of this paragraph? What's happening?
Is that the book of Lonely Planet recommended Tunisia and South Africa for travel.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. And specifically, they recommend it because of these countries offer the best value. Okay. If something gives you the best value, what does that mean? Julia, do you know?
value mm, power or something like that.
It's not so much power, it deals with money.
Ah,
It has to do with money. Juan Carlos, do you know?
Yeah, maybe they meant the better destination, the um, outstanding destinations.
Okay, yes, it's a good destination, and specifically, best value means you get a good experience for what you are paying, okay? You get your money's worth, okay? You get your money's
What?
worth, meaning, like a Maori has written, it's cheap, or you spend less money and you still have a good experience. That's something that is a good value, okay? Good. So the idea here is that Tunisia and South Africa are recommended by Lonely Planet as the best value destinations for 2015. So let us look at where Tunisia is, because sometimes it may not be familiar to people. Okay, so here we go. Here's a map of the world. And here is Tunisia. Oh, stop it, map. Okay. Okay, here we go. So it's in the it's in North Africa. Pretty close to Europe, actually, and the Mediterranean Sea. Has anyone ever been to Tunisia?
No.
Okay, yeah, probably not. Well, maybe after we read this article, you'll want to go there. Okay, so Tunisia, and then of course South Africa is here at the bottom. All right. Let us continue reading now. The next paragraph, whose turn is it? Let's see, Leonel, it's your turn. Can you read these next paragraphs?
Yeah, sure. Namibia and Morocco were also named among the 10 top countries to visit in 2015.
15, good.
Such,
Go.
yes, such a strong showing owings hope for Africa travel providers hit hard by Ebola fears. Many North American travelers had chosen to stay away from the vast continent this year, despite outbreaks of the disease,
Disease.
disease being confined to just a few countries located thousands of miles from this popular destination.
Okay, good. So some words here. Here's that word buoy used as a verb. So such a strong showing buoys hope for Africa travel providers. Okay, so buoys hope in this case is a phrase that means increases or keeps up hope. Okay, so some travel companies have lost a lot of money ever since fears of Ebola started. All right, so now that these two countries, and actually 4 countries, Namibia and Morocco, were also in the top 10, now that these were named as great value destinations, perhaps these travel providers will do a little better. They'll make some more money. Okay. Leonel, can you pronounce this word, providers?
Yes,
Providers.
providers. provider,
Good. Excellent. And disease.
disease, disease,
Good. A disease is the illness or the sickness. Okay. Confined.
confined,
If something is confined to just a few countries, it says the disease being confined to just a few countries. What do you think that means? Umberto, can you answer that question? What do you think that highlighted phrase means?
Disease being confined for just a few. Well, it means that the Ebola disease is not among these countries named before, and only
Okay.
in others that don't are not pointed at this that.
Right. Okay. So when we say the disease is being confined to just a few countries, it means it's staying in just those countries. It's not spreading. Okay, so if something is confined, it means not spreading. It's staying in one place. Okay, sometimes if, for example, if you are imagine a child who does something bad and gets in trouble with their parents. They might be confined to their room, meaning they're not allowed to leave their room because they're in trouble. Okay. Or another thing is in prison, if you get put in solitary confinement, it means you are stuck in a place by yourself. Okay. Good. All right. Well, what other? I think that was all the words I had. Okay, good. So now my question for everybody is, how have the Ebola outbreaks affected travel for people in your country? So I want you guys to tell us if there was any effect, or maybe there wasn't. But for example, in the United States, there was a bit of, it was kind of crazy a few weeks ago because many people were very scared about this disease, even though the disease was confined to these West African countries. So let's see. Juan Carlos, can you tell us how have the Ebola outbreaks affected travel for people in your country?
Um, I think it has have a small effect in our country because we don't have direct flights to Africa.
Okay, so very little effect, small effect.
More small effect, yes.
All right.
But the people is worried about that.
Okay, people are very scared?
Yes.
I see. Okay. How about you? Are you scared about Ebola?
Not too much. Not too much, but I had heard people talking about that, and they looked a little worried about that.
Okay. Let's see. How about you, Amaury? What's it like over there?
About Ebola, I think it's affecting my country like the people in Africa who wants to get a good life or a better life and they get the travel to there. In Mexico, I think it's the same reason. And I'm not afraid about Ebola because I think if I get this disease or something like that, illness, and I will die after that. I think it's the life. I am living the circle of the life cycle. Yeah.
Okay. I see. Interesting. Okay, good. Anybody else have anything to say about this question? No? All right. Let's continue then. Oh, actually, before I move, is there any question about the article so far? These paragraphs or any words that you see that you are confused with?
Yes, teacher, like buoys. I don't know the pronunciation. And can you describe in another word that word?
Yes, okay. So, like I was showing you in the beginning, a buoy is a flotation device or something that floats in the water, okay? So, this is using that word metaphorically, okay? So, when something buoys hope, it's saying that it increases, it's making it float above the water or rising, okay?
Okay, could it be a chip? A ship?
Cheap?
Ship? But I
Oh,
don't know.
ship.
Ship.
No, here, I'll show you. Here is a buoy. It's these things that float in the water. This is a
Okay,
buoy.
it's like advertisement or something like that. Like, oh, you can stay in that limit or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a warning. Not an
Okay,
advertisement, but a warning. Yes.
okay.
Um,
Warn me. Yes, I forgot that word. Thank you, teacher.
it's
I
a
got
false
it.
cognate.
Yeah.
False. Okay,
Thank you.
good. And so when you use it metaphorically, it's like saying that you're staying alive, you're floating, right? So this is saying that hope is increasing or it's staying above the water. It's not drowning. Okay, so it's kind of hard to understand it, but imagine that hope is a buoy floating in the water and it's not sinking, it's staying afloat. Okay, good. Any other questions?
No question.
Okay, let's continue then. Um, let's see, Julia, your turn.
This really isn't isn't much tourists in the affected countries, which are located in West Africa, explains Moira Smith, General Manager of GOAI Travels Middle East and Africa Division. Most travelers make it to East Africa or Southern Africa, and the distance between those areas and any Ebola-affected region is immense.
Okay, good. Excellent. The only word I would like you to repeat is tourism.
Tourism.
Good. Okay. So she says there really isn't much tourism in the affected countries, which are located in West Africa. Okay. So really think about how large Africa is, um, and this disease is confined to Western Africa. So places like Tunisia and um, South Africa are quite far away, all right? So most of the affected areas, affected countries are over here. I've heard it being in Guinea and some of these Sierra Leone and countries down there, okay? So her point is that Africa is a very large continent. Just because something is over here does not mean that the rest of the area is affected. All right. Most travelers make it to East Africa or Southern Africa, and the distance between those areas and any Ebola-affected region is immense. Okay? What does immense mean? Oscar, what does immense mean?
Means me, I think this very large country.
Okay, couldn't really hear you, but I think I heard you say very large, which is correct. Immense means very, very big or large. So if the distance is large, that means Ebola is far away from East Africa and Southern Africa. Okay, excellent. So since this paragraph was talking about tourism, my question now is, what is tourism like in your country? Is your country dependent on tourism, or does it not really have much tourism? Julia, tell me. Also, if you're not speaking, please mute your microphone because I'm getting a lot of background noise. Thank you.
In my country, we have too much tourism, but not is the first activity.
Okay, so it's not the biggest industry, maybe, we'll say. Okay,
Yes.
good. Well, do you know what is the largest industry in your country?
Coffee and carbon.
Okay, okay, very good. Anyone else? Some of you are from the same country. So let's see.
Sorry, teacher, what is the question?
The
What
question
is
is,
tourism like in your country?
yeah.
I think, for example, in Brazil, a lot of people like to go on the beach in Rio de Janeiro. And in the north of Brazil, like a carnival. I don't know, how can I say?
Yeah, carnival.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say in Brazil, tourism is pretty important, right? It's at least in the big cities.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the point here, again, is that the countries that are affected don't see much tourism, so it's not a big problem right now. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to read about some things that Tunisia has, because if you haven't been there, you may not know what there is to see there. Okay? Juan Carlos, can you read this paragraph for us, please?
Okay. Tunisia, which claimed the coveted number one spot on the best value list, is safely perched at Africa's northern tip on the Mediterranean coast. It has long been a quiet achiever from Galway's Africa team. Tunisia tours may take in Roman ruins, exquisitely detailed mosques, and ancient remains of Carthage, or even former Star Wars sets.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. Some words here, okay? Tours. Can you repeat that?
Tours.
Good. The next one. Exquisitely.
Exquisitely.
Good. Exquisitely. Yes. Mosques.
Mosque.
Good. So you don't hear these two letters. It's just like a x sound. Mosques.
Okay, mosque.
It's kind of hard to say, yeah. This is Carthage.
Carthage.
Excellent. Okay, good. So we can see some of the things that Tunisia has to offer. Okay. Let's see. Umberto, tell me one thing that you can see in Tunisia.
Sorry, teacher?
Can you tell me one thing that this paragraph says that you can see in Tunisia? What can you do there?
You can see the mosques.
Good.
And the
One more. Tell me another.
Carthage is, I don't know what's that, but like you
Okay.
can see that.
Yeah, the city of
It's a city.
Carthage was a ancient center of civilization. Okay, I'll show you guys where Carthage is on the map.
A ruin.
Mm-hmm.
This is a ruin. Ruin.
A ruin is an old, like pieces of a building that exist after some of it is destroyed. Okay, so when there are still pieces, but it's not completely there, it's a ruin. For example, an old castle or an old temple that is partially deteriorated or partially destroyed.
Oh, that's not the case. So Carthage is a existing city.
It exists, but not in the same way that it used to. Let's look at some pictures. Where was it? Carthage. Images. Okay, so here are some pictures. You can see that, yes, some of the buildings and temples may exist, but most of it is in ruins. Okay, it's kind of half destroyed. But that's a general idea of what you would see in Carthage. Okay. Good. Ancient Roman ruins. All right. And what's the last thing that we didn't talk about? What else can you see in Tunisia?
The set of the movie Star Wars.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, the Star Wars set.
recorded them. Yes.
Mhm. Exactly. Good.
Pretending it's on another planet.
Exactly. Have you seen the Star Wars movies?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Great.
So did you know that they were in Tunisia?
Oh, no, I can't remember.
Okay, good. I never knew that they would be in Tunisia. I thought it was somewhere in the Middle East, but I didn't know specifically where. Okay,
Right.
good. Any questions about this paragraph from any students?
Goways.
Goway is the name of this travel company that they were interviewing. Yeah, it's called, what was it? Goway Travel.
Goway Travel. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good question. Anything else? All right. Let's continue then. The next...
Mosques. What is mosques?
Mosques. A mosque is a building used for worship in the Islamic religion.
Yeah.
All of these are mosques. But yeah, it's where you worship.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
City.
All right. And exquisitely. What does exquisitely mean?
Exquisitely.
Like beautiful, or something like that.
Yeah, exquisitely is like exquisite is like beautiful. So exquisitely is like beautifully detailed, okay? Something very incredibly detailed is exquisitely.
Yes, that word in my native language in Portuguese, it's the opposite. The opposite means yes.
The opposite meaning.
Yes, it's like weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so in English, it's a good thing.
Yes,
Usually.
yes, in Spanish too. I know it because in Spanish, when you talk for someone, oh, you look exquisitely or something like that, it's like, oh, wow, beautiful, it's amazing. And in Portuguese, it's, oh, you look weird or something like that.
That's funny. Okay. Well, hopefully you didn't use it incorrectly ever when you were talking.
Yes, it is difficult to me too.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Actually, Amaury, it's your turn to read this article, or this paragraph.
How can I say the first word? Perignon?
Perennial.
Perennial. Okay. Perennial favorite South Africa claimed the second place thanks to a weekend currency and a well-developed tourism industry. There's an Africa safari here to suit any budget. And only in Cape Town can a visitor go with live watching, wine tasting, diving with sharks, wilderness hiking, and the nightlife hopping. Without ever switching cities, those who do want to travel further afield might venture north to Namibia. Runner-up on Lonely Planet's 10 top countries for 2015.
Okay, good. That had a lot of tricky words.
Yes.
So let's start with this one. Perennial.
Perennial.
Do you know what perennial means about
No,
it?
perennial favorites. No idea.
Okay, perennial means it comes back every year. For example, we have some flowers that are perennial, meaning you plant them once and then every year in the springtime they will come back. You don't have to plant them again.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
It's
when we talk,
it's very similar forever.
yeah, kind of, yeah, forever. So
Okay,
that
I
means,
got it.
yeah, perennial favorite meaning South Africa is always a favorite. It's a favorite forever.
Okay, I got the idea.
Good. Second place, thanks to a weakened currency and well-developed tourism industry. Okay. Here's another important phrase. Okay, it says there's an Africa safari here to suit any budget. To suit any budget.
To change any money, any saving?
No.
No. Okay,
Let's
no.
see. Anyone else?
To
No.
fit to fit any budget.
Good, to fit any budget. So that means if you are a rich billionaire traveling, there's stuff for you to do, and if you're an average person, there are things you can do, or if you're not so wealthy, there are things you can do. Okay, so any person, whether you're not wealthy or you are, you can go on an Africa safari. Okay? You all know that a safari is when you go watching the animals in the wild. Okay. Now, it tells us some things that you can do in Cape Town. Leonel, tell me one thing you can do in Cape Town, according to this article.
Sorry, in King Time.
In Cape Town. Cape Town. The
Cape
name
Town.
of major city in South Africa.
All right. Yes, you can visitor the wildlife watching, wine
Okay.
tasting.
A visitor can go wildlife watching. Good. So what is wildlife watching? Do you know?
Yes, like yeah. I don't know how explain, but I know the forest, for example.
Yeah, if you go to the forest and you look at wildlife, wildlife refers to all the wild animals living in any place. So I could talk about lions and tigers and elephants and all of that. Those are all wildlife.
Yes.
Good. Okay, we said wine tasting also. Good.
Good.
Umberto, tell me two more things that you can do in Cape Town. Umberto, are you there?
Yes, teacher. Sorry.
That's okay.
Speaking better. I think wine tasting and wilderness hiking too.
Good. You can go wilderness hiking. Good. So climbing or through the forest, maybe. What else? Two more things.
Mm, nightlife hopping.
Good. What does that mean? Nightlife hopping. Do you know?
It's like seeing. You can wait and see the animals.
No, this is different. Okay, so nightlife is not the same as wildlife. What is nightlife talking about? Let's see. Who haven't I heard from? Oh, David, welcome.
Hi Tara, nice to
How
see you.
are you?
I am pretty well, thank you for asking.
Okay, good. David, do you know what nightlife
Yes,
is?
of course.
What is it?
Nightlife is when you hang out with your friends and go to party, go to dance, go to for a beer, for drink, and you have fun all
Okay,
the night.
good. Yeah, so nightlife is talking about when you go out with your friends and probably drinking or eat out to dinner and dancing and all of that stuff. So it's quite different from wildlife, although sometimes if it gets too crazy, I guess it could look like wildlife. Okay, good. So nightlife hopping is different from hoping. It's not hoping, it's hopping. David, do you know what hopping is?
No, actually no, Tara.
Okay, hopping, to hop means to jump. Okay, to jump is another word for hop. Like a bunny rabbit hops. It's like when you jump with your 2 feet and it's a small jump. Okay?
And what about nightlife hopping?
Yeah, so nightlife hopping is when you go out, you go out with your friends and you don't stay at one bar. You jump from one bar to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So we call it hopping, specifically bar hopping. Okay? If I say, oh yeah, I went bar hopping last night because it was my birthday,
Got it.
does it mean I went to one club? No, it means I went to lots of them. Okay, good. So these are all things you can do in Cape Town. Excellent. And the one we didn't talk about was diving with sharks, which sounds pretty cool. All right. And then the last phrase that I think is important here is runner-up. So it says, those who want to travel might venture north to Namibia, runner-up on Lonely Planet's 10 top countries for 2015. Amaury, what is a runner-up? I should have a... Amaury is probably not.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm in mute. Runner up on Lonely Planets. It's like, for example, I am in the marathon, and I am in the first one or something like that, or the second one. I don't know.
Yeah, so the runner-up means not the winner, but the person right after. Okay?
Yes.
So yeah, so if you're having a race, right, the winner is in first place, and the person in second place is the runner-up.
Runner-up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the winner, but the person after the winner.
Okay.
So in this context, it says runner-up on Lonely Planet's 10 top countries. Okay? So it didn't make it to the list of top 10, so what number is it?
The second one.
Not second, because if it was second, that means it would be on the list. But they're saying it's not on the list. It was a runner-up to making the list.
At the 11?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
So it's the 11th place. So runner-up does not always mean spot number 2. you can be the runner-up to the top 10. That means you were number 11. Okay, so it's after the main winner or the main category. Good. So you can have runner-up, you can have second runner-up, third runner-up, fourth runner-up. So those are all the people after whatever you're talking about. Okay. Good. Any other questions about this paragraph? No? All right, here we go. I think this is the last short paragraph here. Okay, Umberto, can you read this one for us?
With leading travel providers and commentators confident of an African recovery in 2015, now is an excellent time to take advantage of prices pushed down by unfounded fears.
Good. Okay, this word, commentators. Can you repeat that? Commentators.
Commentators.
So the stress here is on the first syllable. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, commentators. That's people who make comments about the industry, about the economy, or whatever, okay? So they're confident of a recovery in 2015. So they're sure that these, everyone being worried about Ebola, that's going to go away. Those worries will go away soon, hopefully. Now is an excellent time to take advantage of prices pushed down, so lowered prices, pushed down by unfounded fears. What do you think that means? Pushed down by unfounded fears. Oscar, any idea?
The people don't have care.
Say it again.
When the people don't have an scare.
Ah, okay, good. So fear is being scared, yes. But if it is an unfounded fear, what do you think that means? That changes the meaning a little bit. If something is unfounded.
Not discover fears?
Ah, not quite. That's a good guess, because that's what it looks like. But unfounded actually means it has no evidence. Okay? So they're describing people's fears of Ebola to be unfounded because it doesn't really make sense, right? They're scared because, oh, it's in Africa, but it's so far away from the places that they would go. So it's a fear without reason. So unfounded equals without reason, okay? So no evidence is another way to describe that. Okay, so all of this excess of fear for no reason is making travel prices in Africa pretty low, which is good. Another important word here is fear-mongering. Okay, fear-mongering is the idea of spreading fear unnecessarily. Okay, so I might say in the United States, the media is fear-mongering because they're always reporting about Ebola and talking about it and making everybody scared when really it's not a big threat to most people in the United States. Okay, it's a very small population that it might affect. Only the doctors that go to Africa to work with people with the disease. So that's an example of fear-mongering, is spreading fear excessively. Okay, great. So that was the end of the article. Now we have some questions, okay, for the last 5 minutes or so. My first question is, when you consider travel destinations, What are the most important factors influencing your decision? What do you consider when you decide to take a trip? Let's see. David, go ahead. Tell us.
Okay, Tara. Well, I think when I am thinking in traveling, well, the first thing that comes to my mind is the weather. Maybe sunny weather, maybe beaches, a lot of nice beaches.
Mm-hmm.
Also comes to my mind, secondly, the price. I think
Mm-hmm.
that fit in my budget. And the third one is, well, maybe, mm, maybe if I can stay in a hotel, or maybe in a home or in a house,
Ah,
private house.
mm-hmm. So accommodations.
Accommodation, right? Accommodation is important also.
Good.
And yes,
Were you gonna say something else?
no,
Okay. Okay, excellent. So David said he would consider weather, the price, and accommodations. Those are all excellent responses, I think. David, would you ever consider going to somewhere that had very cold weather?
yes, because actually I didn't know snow or Christmas with snow with cold weather, so it would be a new experience for me. See a winter season with
Mm.
yes.
Yeah, so you've never seen a white Christmas. We call it a white Christmas if there's snow on the ground. Mhm. Good. Ah, I don't think I've ever seen a not white Christmas. I always see snow here in New York.
Yes, I know by the movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, very good. Anyone else have something, another factor that you consider when you're choosing where you want to go on vacation?
Right. Me, teacher.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
I don't go to places that is crowded.
Mm,
I prefer places that has little people, few people.
okay, good. So, what are some places you have gone to that don't have many people?
Like for example, if I go to a beach, I'd like to go in the months that people usually do not like to go.
Ah, okay.
For instance,
So you avoid like the touristy places and the peak tourist times of the year,
yes,
the peak tourist seasons. Okay, that's a good idea. Excellent.
yes.
All right. Since we only have about one more minute, we'll do the next question. Have you ever taken a trip somewhere just because it was a good value? Just because it was cheap? Anybody?
Hmm.
No?
Hmm.
Everyone spends a lot on their vacations.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't remember. But the price is something to take in count.
Mm-hmm. Take
Not
into
just the
account.
price. You need to look for information about the weather, the things to do. Uh, is it is a safe place and something like that.
Ah, okay. So yeah, you mentioned two other things that we didn't talk about. So activities or things to do in a place and safety or security.
Yes.
Good. Those are also very important factors. Okay, very good. Well, we're actually, unfortunately, just about out of time for today. But I want to say thank you to all of you for joining the class and for participating. And I hope to see you again in another class on verbling. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you,
Clara.
teacher.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.